What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making a beginner's guide about Roblox, Lexington, and Concord. Lexington and Concord is a Roblox game based on the conflicts that the early United States was involved in. The game includes the American Revolutionary War and the War of 1812 and their respective battles. I'm going to go over a few aspects of the game that beginners should know: classes, game modes, items, and a few different maps. First, for the classes, the game has 7 classes: the line infantry, officer, sapper, surgeon, rifleman, artillery, and flag bearer. The line infantry has a basic musket and a saber with mid stats, which kills in 3 hits, with the musket having around a 10-second reload and having an affixable bayonet that can be used by pressing X. Hitting someone with your bayonet applies a bleeding effect, which causes the hit player to lose health after already being stabbed, which can be useful. The officer class starts with a basic pistol and the fastest reload of all of 6.5 seconds, perfect for sneaking behind enemies and picking them off from close range. The pistol is ineffective at long ranges. The officer also has a spyglass that lets players mark enemy players, causing an indicator to appear above their head, visible even through walls. The officer also has a saber. The sapper sports an axe that deals 65 damage, but most importantly, the sapper can construct barricades, stakes, sandbags, and chevaux de frise. Barricades are small walls that the sapper can quickly build up to act as cover for teammates. The stakes are pretty useless besides the fact that you can put them up facing barricades so your teammates can stand on them and shoot over the barricades. The chevaux de frise is a large object that can be shot through but has high health. The sapper also has a shovel that allows him to dig up sand to build on top of. The surgeon has a saber and 10 bandages that he can use to heal 30 health of his teammates. Not much else to say about this one. The rifleman has a rifle that is a guaranteed one-shot kill at any range, and also has the best accuracy out of any gun. He can also crouch, get 100% accuracy, however the reload is 17 seconds. He also has a saber. The artillery class has a saber and a swab. He is the only class that can operate cannons. Cannons can be loaded with canister shot for close range and round shot for long range. The reload of the cannon takes around 5 seconds. Canister shots is good for taking out groups of enemies at a mid-range or close range, like I just said, and round shot is more for sniping or taking down enemy fortifications. The flag bearer, which is my personal favorite class, has a flag of the nation they are a part of. The flag bearer provides a 20% reload speed buff to any teammate within a 25 stud radius while he is holding the flag. On certain maps that allow respawning, players may respawn on the flag bearer if he is holding his flag, which can be extremely useful and can turn the tide of the battle. And those are all the classes. I really just used 1.5 Word document pages for that. Anyways, there's 3 game modes. The battle game mode basically spawns 2 teams on opposite ends of the map, and they then fight to the death. No respawns are allowed, and whichever team loses all their players first loses. So it's like a deathmatch game mode. The siege game mode is a game mode where one team defends and the other team attacks. There are 3 capture points that the attacking team must capture to win. Once a point is lost, it cannot be retaken by the defenders. Once a point is captured, the timer resets to 10 minutes. If the timer runs out with the defending team holding at least 1 point, they win. But if the attackers capture all points on the map, the attackers win. Siege maps also allow respawning. The attrition game mode is an interesting game mode and the most complex one. There is an attacking team and a defending team. The attacking team at the beginning of the match receives a number of points, so its points being around 8 times the amount of players on the attacking team. The defending team at the beginning does not receive points. These points are actually respawns, and every time a soldier dies of a team with points, they lose 1 point. The defenders each only get 1 life, so if they die, they die. At the beginning of an attrition match, the goal of the defenders is to inflict as many casualties as possible on the attacking team to reduce their amount of points. When all defenders eventually die, the defenders all respawn in a different location, each only having 1 life once again. The goal of the defenders, again, is to inflict as many casualties as possible. Once all defenders inevitably perish, they all respawn, but this time with points. The points of the defenders are usually slightly less than the points of the attackers. This is the first real chance of the defenders to win the game, unless the defenders are actual gods and win the game when the game first starts. Now in this stage where the defenders receive points, if they lose all their points, the game moves on to another points of the map, with the defenders receiving more points and the attackers usually gaining some points as well. After this stage, the defenders usually gain more points than the attackers in a last-ditch effort to win the game. That was a lot. Attrition is kind of hard to explain. Sometimes the attackers and defenders also receive objectives to complete, like on the defensive Fort McHenry map, where the British who are attacking need to build ladders and push parts. Now, what else did I have in the script? Let me check. Oh yeah, items. For every kill the player gets, they gain 5 notes, which is the game's currency. If it is a headshot kill, then 10. If it's a kill with a cannon, then 12 points. I mean, notes. Notes is what I mean. 12 notes per kill with a cannon. Notes can be used to purchase cosmetic items, but more importantly, they can be used to purchase new weapons or utility tools for certain classes or side grades. Currently, there are not many of these items, but a few of them are the Spontoon, which is a side grade for the flag bearer, which replaces the flag but gives teammates in a 25 stud radius a 20% melee swing speed buff, which is especially useful for sappers because of the axe's slow swing rates. The hand axe is a weapon that can be bought that allows you to equip it on any class with the exception of the flag bearer and surgeon. It has better base stats than the saber, sporting a higher swing rate and higher damage. An example of a special utility item is the torch, which can be used by the flag bearer and surgeon that allows the player to burn down enemy barricades quickly, allowing your team to quickly rush in and kill enemies. However, new strategies are being developed to counter this, so be wary. Now for the last and shortest part of the video, some examples from maps of each game mode. Battle maps include, but are not limited to, Lexington, Concord, North Point, Queenston Heights, and Bunker Hill. Now for some siege maps, Fort Ticonderoga, Yorktown, and Fort Erie. And there's only 2 attrition maps, which are Fort McHenry and Baltimore. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my full beginner's guide for Roblox Lexington and Concord. The script took ages to write and contains 1,210 words, so please like, subscribe, and comment. See ya!